Hello everyone, welcome back to the second session on the Zendala fever. Yes, we will be drawing a series of Zendala tiles using different strings to create beautiful tiles, different set of patterns every time, right? So this is the tile that we did yesterday, and I'm sorry I forgot to write the name of the tangles. Although I generally do mention the names, but my followers have requested me to write down the names, right? So the center tangle is Bunzo, right? So Bunzo is a Zentangle original. The second tangle that we used is Molygon, a Molygon tangleation, right? Because we put the pattern crescent moon inside. The third tangle that we used was Mocha, a simplified version of Mocha. Yeah, these are all Zentangle original tangles. The fourth tangle that we used is called Duda. Yeah, again a Zentangle original. And the fifth angle that we use is called Knight's Bridge. Yeah, Knight, Knight's Bridge. Yeah, so these are the tangles that we used in this style, yesterday's style, right? And today we'll be working on this string. So as I mentioned earlier also, I've already floated the strings, so it will be a good idea if you draw the strings beforehand. But just in case you're finding it difficult to draw the string, you can always trace it. And still, if you don't want to do it, you want to draw real time, I have no issues in showing you once how to draw, right? So just mark the center of the your tile, right? So where is my pencil gone? Right, so this is the center. If you want, you can add these 4 lines just for reference, and again you have 2 petals in this direction also, right? So you might want to add a mark against these zeros also. They are just for reference to ensure some bit of symmetry, but they are not required as such because you can draw these freehand also, right? So I'm just lightly drawing the lines, showing you how to draw the string. You can always do away with these lines and just draw the string freehand, as I did in the previous session also, right? So once we have done these lines, now starting from the center, a circle, right? Then there are 4 petals here, right? So first 1, 2, 3 and 4, right? So these lines give you a nice reference. Again, there are joining petals in between. So 1, 2, 3 and 4, right? And then these are bigger petals over and above this. So 1, right? 2, 3 and 4, right? So the lines come handy, right? And then these are these sections created like this, right? So I'm drawing the string in front of you. So this is how the string is drawn, right? So we'll be working on this string. So I have this string with me already. So let's get started. So I'm first going to start from the outside today, right? So we will pick up this section first, right? And I'm going to remove my markers. The work is done, right? And we are going to start with a tangle, very simple tangle called tipple first, right? So all these sections I'm going to fill up with the tangle tipple, right? So you can use your micron O1 or O2. I've started with my O2, right? You can start with your O1 also. So I'm now going to squeeze in the tangle tipple here, right? So big orbs, small orbs, you can draw orbs of any size. Size is not important, you can keep it symmetrical, same size, or you can vary the size. entirely up to you, right? And whatever small little spaces left in between, try to fill in the spaces at the same time, or you can come back to them and then fill in the intersectices, right? So again, up to you. So it's a good idea to do it at the same time. So tipple is a very good filler as well as a standalone tangle. So it only has one stroke, that is the orbs. Orbs because we don't expect the round shape to be absolute circles, right? You can always squeeze in the shape in a certain space to fill up that space, right? So you can see here they are not perfect circles. I am varying the shape as per what is the space available to me. Yeah, so slowly, nicely draw these orbs, right, and fill up the spaces. Fill up the intersectices also at the same time. Yeah, so we are done with one section. Now moving on to the next. Again, I'll do the same exercise. Draw tipple. And fill in the small little spaces. Right, so tipple is a Zentangle original, one of the first few tangles which is taught to any beginner, and it is used throughout, right? Almost every tile we make, some way or the other, this tangle crops up, right? Whether you turn it into a dewdrop or a caviar or a black pearl, but it starts somewhere with tipple. Yeah, so you can see how these small little intersectices, when they are inked, they add so much drama. They almost look like, squeezing into each other, battling for spaces. Yeah, so take your time and fill up this section. There are about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of these with the tangle tipple. So if you want, you can vary the tangles also. It's entirely up to you. Again, it is just a suggestion. Make the string your own, right? So moving on to the third section, I'm going to continue like this. Right, so I'm now working on the last section, just filling in tipple in the same fashion in all the sections, squeezing in my tipple inside, making sure that the intersectices are filled up at the same time, or you can get back to it later. Yeah, so you can also stick to very small orbs or orbs of same size, that's okay, right? So there is no standard rule as such for tipple. You can vary the size of the orbs, you can keep them same, you can draw it anyway. Right, so I'm just continuing filling the space. Tiny spaces in between. Just add some black there. Right, so we are almost done with our tipple. Yeah, right, so once we are done with our tipple, now we'll move on to the next sections, right? So entirely up to us, entirely up to you, what do we want to fill there. So I'm going with simple fragment here, right? So straight lines with some weight at the end, right? So I've started with the bigger petals here, the in-between ones, right? Straight line with a slight V shape at the end and fill it in. Again curved line with the weight, slight curved line with the weight. The center line is straight. Again curved line with the weight, curved line with the weight at the end. Yeah, so I'll do exactly the same for all. Center line is straight, add some weight, then a slight curved line, add some weight. Yeah, take your time, give time to each stroke, don't be in a hurry. Yeah, the third one. So on the last one, last petal shape, drawing the same fashion. Yeah, right, so done with this section. Now comes the second one. Again, there are a whole lot of tangles you can choose from. I will go with simple shattuck, right? So just enclose this orb, add another orb inside, leave a small highlight, and then ink the rest like this. Yeah, and then I think it's pretty big. Yeah, and then we are going to draw the tangle shattuck. So I'm going to start from one side, the auras, go till the next end, again rotate, start from here, almost going 90-degree like this. Yeah, so start your auras from the other side, reach the other end, again 90 degrees like this, start from here, or you can start upside down, that's okay. Start from the other side and then like this. Yeah, you can choose to fill this small little space Yeah, so this is the tangle shattuck. I'll show you again. Some problem with my zoom. Yeah, at times comes very sensitive. Yeah, and then starting from the other side, take this angle, again start auras, simple lines, right? So I'm just auraing the first line that I did. Lines, again auras, small little space, you can ink it. Yeah, third one, again going till the other end, then again starting from there, drawing lines at 90 degrees, again ink this part, yeah. So I'll do the last one. Right, so we are done with the center flower. Now we are left with two more sections, right? So entirely up to us, how do you want to go about it? So let us start this section first. So I'm just going to add some lines like these, probably 3 of them in each, yeah, or you can add 4, whatever you feel like. And I'm going to insert a pattern called jongle inside these sections, yeah. So once we have drawn these lines, now I am just going to add the jongle string. So it goes zigzag like this, yeah. Again the second running parallel to the first one, down, up, down, up. So basically any two lines of the grid running parallel to each other. Yeah. So that's the jongle grid. Again I am going to do the same for all. Down, up, make sure the lines are running parallel to each other. The grid is the main thing in jongle. After that it's just inking, or you can add some other pattern, right? Again I'll show you one more. Down, up, down, up. Some bit of drawing behind there also. Yeah, and similarly the fourth one. So the next step in jongle is to ink alternate spaces just as we did for Knightsbridge. So pick up your boulder nib and ink the alternate spaces, right? Slowly take your time and patiently do that exercise. So if you don't want to ink it, then you have the choice of adding some other pattern or lines, anything that you wish to, right? So entirely up to you. Original tangle, generally the spaces are inked, and that's what adds a lot of drama. So don't haste up the process of inking, take your time, change your posture, relax your hand, get up, take a walk, come back, yeah, but don't be in a hurry and just rush up your inking. Ink it nicely, don't leave gaps. You think you have inked well, and suddenly when you zoom in your camera you feel, oh gosh, there's so many gaps there, yeah. So be patient and do it nicely. After all, it adds so much drama to your tile, so it deserves that time, yeah. And finally the last one here. Yeah, so I'm done with one section, so I'll do the same, exactly the same for the rest, right? Start here. So I'm almost finishing with my inking here, and just the last few sections left. You can see the drama that it adds. Just redoing the line, the grid line. Yeah, so our jongle is done. So now we are left with just one section, the leaf. So I'm going to be adding a simple pattern called Ficops. So I'm first adding these stems on both sides, right? Yeah, and then what I'm going to do is join it like this and bring it here. Join it like this, bring this down here. Something like this. Yeah, you can also do it here, right? Simple exercise. So what I'm doing here is join it like this, bring it down here, join it like this, bring it down here. So this is the tangle Ficop. So what we can do here is either ink these sections or ink the outer space, whatever you are more comfortable with. Yeah, so I think here inking the outer space will make more sense, and we will shade the inner space. Right, so what I'm doing is whatever little is left outside but inside the leaf shape, I'm just inking it. Yeah, so now you can see the pattern clearly. Yeah, so I'll draw it once again. Yeah, so draw the line and then draw stems like these. Basically peacock inside a leaf shape. Right, and now I'm going to join this like this and get down like this. 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. Yeah, same thing on the other side. Yeah, I'll do once again here. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 3 4, right, and then the same process. Again the other side. Yeah, and the last one. Now inking the leftover spaces, small little spaces that are left after I drew the tangle. Yeah, so take that time, as it will highlight your tangle a little more, and slowly ink those small spaces left inside your leaf. Yeah, and the last one. So we are now done with our tangling, right? Let us now move on to shading our tile. So I'm just going to pick up my pencil and start shading. Now about these, good idea to shade at the edges. Probably I'll add on both sides so that my leaf is demarcated. Although you don't generally shade your shattered like that, but since it is inside a leaf, you might want the leaves to be discreet. Yeah, so touching the ends. So don't add too much. The leaves petals are small. We don't want the entire flower gray. Yeah, so whites should be visible. So add limited, and let us now blend. Blend both sides, but leave the center white. Yeah, that's important. Again blend the ends. And blend the sides. So as far as Zentangle is concerned, the strings are generally not planned, they are random, right? So that is why we call these Zentangle inspired arts, because we are laying down a fixed string here and then we are trying to draw inside it, right? So you can, while drawing, just overlook the string and add some more sections or do something else, right? Just create more sections, overlook sections. But since we are started with a string which is discrete, which is planned, which is well laid down, generally we say it is an inspired art, right? Because Zentangle as such does not plan a string. Yeah. Now moving on to the next. So jongle, again alternate sections. So wherever it is going coming down, you can highlight that. D1 again coming down, highlight that, right? So just two sections here, and the rest to be highlighted with white. Yeah, so small sections, don't add too much. Again this section, leave one line. The next section, no need to add on the ink sections. Ink will anyways reflect graphite, so you can skip the blacks and add graphite only on the whites. Yeah, so you can see the shading, the jongle starts to breathe, the folds suddenly pop up. Yeah, so take your time and carefully shade each element. Shading really adds life to your tangles, so don't be in a hurry to shade and finish. Yeah, yeah, that's about jongle. Now each of these sections I'm going to just shade it as a whole. Yeah, so adding some graphite at the ends, and although the sections are pretty small, I'll try and keep the center white, right? So try and keep a little white section and blend the rest like this. Yeah, you can see the center is white, so it pops up. So I'll do the same, just adding at the edges thin graphite, and then just blend. So blend carefully, not too much, not too less. Make sure the white is discreet. Yeah, so I'll just continue like this. So I'm just shading my tipple on the last section. Just added graphite in the same way to all. I'm blending carefully, leaving a small white section. Right, as far as the ficop is concerned, I'm just going to add some gray here. Light touch. I don't want it coming outside of that section. Yeah, if it was bigger, I would have added some graphite under these lines also, but here the space is small, so I'll just add a touch on the center line. That's it, right? I'm not going to add anything else, just the center line and the side shading. Yeah, so otherwise you can always draw shade under these lines, and suddenly the flaps look like under each other, right? So since it is small here, so that may make the entire ficop go gray, so I am avoiding that and just center and the ends. Yeah, again the same thing. So shading is something you can't generalize for any tangle, depending on how, where you have used, what are the adjoining tangles. You have to decide there itself how do you want to shade. Yeah, so there is no standard shading method as far as Zentangle is concerned. As far as any tangle is concerned, yes, certain things do look nice, they look better, so you can go by that, but it all depends on where and how you have used the tangles. What is the combination of tangles that you have used? Yeah. So now comes the highlighting part. So sharpen your chalk pencil and give the highlights. So entirely up to you, where do you want to. I can add highlights here like this. Right, so it will show only when that area is not gray, otherwise it won't add much of a difference. So highlights should be on the white section, right? Again, a little touch like this, not much, small touch like a luster. Yeah, then on the jongle where you have not shaded, just add a line, so it will look like fold. And the last one, right? Tipple in between where there is no graphite, just add some chalk, highlight the center. So suddenly the edges recede and the center pops up. Yeah, that's it. I don't think we need anywhere else. We are done with our tile for today. Yeah, so don't forget to put your chop. So the tangles that we have used today inside flower is, this is a fragment, this is just lines with some weight at the end, right? The other pattern is shattuck, which is again a Zentangle original. This pattern is called jongle, right? Again a Zentangle original. And this is stipple, the orbs, these, right? And this is a tangle called ficop, right? So these are the tangles that we use today, and take a moment to appreciate your tile. Sign and date it, mention a comment if you wish to, right? And I'll see you again with another Zentangle special series session, right? Till then, have a good time, stay safe, bye bye.